What is going on? Facebook, command your conversion. It is nice to see you today on what's today? Tuesday? Wednesday? What is it? Tuesday?
Wednesday.
It's
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Oh my gosh. It's nice to see you on a Wednesday. Thank you for jumping in on this webinar. My name is Nick Baldwin, and I have Ro Malik here, who is the boss man at Conversion Monster. And everyone say hi to Ro, and Ro say hi to everyone.
Hey guys, good to see you. Thanks for joining today.
Thanks for being on with us, Ro. We're going to talk today about a few things, mostly Facebook lead generation, conversion, how to talk to Facebook leads, how to follow up, the right things to say and the right things to do. And it's all around how Conversion Monster can help with the integration that is now available through Command for solo agent accounts. So I'm excited to kick this off with you, Ro. So appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
It's going to be a Q&A back and forth. We're going to be interviewing each other. Like I'll ask Ro a question and then he'll ask me a question. But Ro, for those watching and tuning in that don't know what Conversion Monster is, why don't you just kind of fill us in and tell us a little bit about the company?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate everybody joining today. For those of you that don't know who Conversion Monster is, we are a company of inside sales agents that are helping real estate agents all over the country convert internet leads into closings and commissions through systematic lead follow-up, speed to contact, and long-term lead nurturing. I also run 2 real estate teams. So this business was really born out of a necessity that I saw in the industry, really to help solve an issue with the enormous amount of internet leads that were out there. And so I needed a solution for my business several years ago. And when I began testing it, realized that a lot of fellow agents were experiencing the same pain. And so out of that, the idea and the concept of Conversion Monster was born. And here we are 6 years later, still working and every day working on improving that process and getting better.
Yeah, awesome. So it's no secret that I use Conversion Monster. And, one of the things that I love about it is, it definitely helps me follow up with my incoming leads in a quick way over an extended period of time. Conversion Monster will follow up with your Facebook leads, realtor.com leads, Zillow leads, any kind of incoming internet leads that go into your database. Today, we're going to focus on Facebook specifically and the integration with Command. But, what agent out there can really systematically follow up 17 times over the first 10 days and then 76 times over the course of 12 months, and be systematic about it? Like, I don't know any agents that can do that on their own if they're getting lead flow at a high level. I mean, even if you're getting 50 or 60 or 100 leads a month, that to many agents is a high level, and it's just leverage. So let's talk about like how that works, right? So how does Conversion Monster do that? Like, I know how, but I want you to explain how Conversion Monster can systematically follow up that much over that long of a period of time.
So we, going back to our 3 main points, right? It's we want to make sure that we're reaching out to every lead within business hours, within 5 minutes or less. We know all the industry statistics. We've been hearing them for years and years and years that, we need to call a lead within 5 minutes or less. If we don't get a hold of them through sort of a little bit of trial and error, we can, over the years, we created that cadence of 17 touches in the first 10 days. Which consists of phone calls, ringless voicemails, text messages, and emails. And then, as you mentioned, over the course of the year, it's, a total of 76 touches. And we have just found that, when it comes to internet leads, as a lot of people are aware, they're just starting their journey, right? And so they're at the top of the funnel many times. And we feel that we need to reach out to them right away. And we understand that they might not be ready, but we want to be along with them throughout their journey. And so that's why we have so many touches and so many follow-up. But even more so than that, it's because the industry is somewhere around 150, 160 million leads now from all these different lead sources per year. And as we know, outside of a really spectacular, home sales year last year, average home sales every year around 6-7 million. Right. So, I mean, of course, that's why you're going to have conversion rates or closing rates on internet leads that are pretty dismal. And it's just impossible to follow up with that many leads, which is, to your point, the average agent can probably only handle about 25 or 30 leads if they were just working it themselves. Right. And so you need a system and a process, right? You need a system.
Like half the population of the United States in leads every single year.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tremendous amount of volume. And when I was out like on buyer tours and I was taking clients out, especially like on a Saturday, like when I'm in Chicago and it's summertime, I've got leads aren't stopping. I mean, they're coming in and I'm out on buyer tours. I'm out of the house at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm not coming back till 4 o'clock. And I'd have 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 leads that would come in. And the last thing that I wasn't getting to them in 5 minutes. And certainly the last thing I'd want to do when I come home from showing all day is now I have to sit down and start calling leads. Right. And so my peace of mind was just wrecked knowing that I was paying for these leads and I was just burning through them. And unfortunately, that just happens too many times. Right. And sometimes we have this sense that, well, it's okay, I'll have 3 more tomorrow, or I'll have 3 more the next day. Right. And that's the worst way to think about it, because I've always said you can't measure the cost of a lost opportunity. Right. And that could have been the one.
Yeah. In the chat on Zoom, OK Hogan, which, by the way, I love his name. OK Hogan. It's the best. He commented saying, I used to have a sick feeling knowing we were not reaching out to our active database. It's nice to have my ISAs at Conversion Monster on the job following up. Dude, I know exactly how OK is feeling. Like, I remember, even before I had any sort of automation in place, when a lead would come in, forget family time, bro. Forget all of that stuff. If I'm paying for, a lead, especially like a realtor.com lead, where that lead could be a few $100s at the low end, I'm like stopping everything I'm doing because that's $300 down the drain. You know what I'm saying? I'm stopping everything I'm doing to get up. I could have been out to dinner with my wife and she's like, don't you dare look at that phone. I'm like, but this lead costs more than our food. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a really horrible feeling.
It's a horrible feeling. It's, and that was what I was experiencing. That was I was going through. I'm paying for these leads, and every agent that has internet leads understands that feeling. You're busy. You're not sitting at your desk in your office, unless it's maybe Monday morning at 10 o'clock. And that's when leads are not coming in. They're coming in the afternoons and the evenings and the weekends. They're on the opposite schedule of us, right? Their lunch break maybe, but late afternoon, evenings. And that's when we're generally out on showings. And so it's like you have sort of the opposite schedule of what your clients have. And then now you got leads coming in, you're stressed out because you can't follow up with them. And then maybe you send them a text message, maybe you call them once, but the amount of work and effort that's required to convert internet leads into appointments, it just takes a tremendous amount of effort to call and follow up and stay in front of them. And that's why we have such an aggressive cadence and system and process, is because we understand that. We know that it takes a lot of work. And especially the more leads you have, the more supply you have of leads, the harder you have to work to sift through all of those to find those opportunities of the people that are actually interested or buying or selling in the next 6 months.
There's a comment in the chat from Victoria. She's saying we had a campaign go out and within 12 hours. So they create a campaign on Facebook through command, is what I'm assuming. And within 12 hours, they had a pre-qualified $750,000 buyer that Conversion Monster qualified for them. So the leads came in within half a day. They got themselves a buyer of almost $1 million. And, there's no way that could have happened if you didn't have response in like 90 seconds or 120 seconds. So that's a huge testimonial. So I love that. Yeah,
That's
yesterday I had a lead come in through a Facebook ad, and within 15 minutes, I received it was a pre-approved buyer for around 400,000, 3 or 400. Within 15 minutes from a Facebook ad through command, within 15 minutes, they had been qualified by Conversion Monster. And you know, it's funny, like I didn't even see the lead come in. Like I didn't even notice the pop-up on my phone. Like that's another thing, Ro. Like we have so many notifications every single day
yeah.
that missing the leads coming in is a whole other issue, right?
Yeah, you're drowning. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many, I mean, emails and text messages and calls we're getting, every single day. It's very easy to get lost in the shuffle when another lead comes through. And a lot of times you just have a name and a phone number and an email. That's all you have to go off of. And so you got to call everybody, you got to reach out to everybody because you don't know if that was your $5 million buyer
Yeah.
or not.
So let's talk about how we talk to these leads, right? Because they're very, very different than like your realtor.com. And Facebook leads are right at the top of the funnel. And for those of you who don't understand what that means is, so think of it like an upside down triangle. You have top of the funnel, which are people who I look at it as they're not as ready. I don't look at it as any less motivated. I look at it as their readiness factor just isn't there. They may be motivated to buy a home, but they might be 12 or 18 months out. So that's Facebook right at the top. And then in the middle, you have Google pay-per-click where people, let me back up. The reason why you get that with Facebook is because people don't go on social media to go look for homes for sale. They're not like, oh, let me go on Facebook and hopefully some houses will pop up in my news feed, right? No, they'll go to Zillow for that, or they'll Google it. Then you have Google pay-per-click. So Google pay-per-click is when you sit down and they type in homes for sale in, any town USA, and then the list on Google pops up. Those people are probably about 6 to 8 months from buying, sometimes a little bit sooner. Then you have the people who are ready right now, Zillow, Realtor.com. And that's why you pay an arm and a leg. And so for Zillow and Realtor.com. And so for Zillow and Realtor.com, because there is a button on the website that says request to see this property, you can call that person and say, hey, Ro, this is Nick with Keller Williams. You requested to see 123 Main Street. I'm available today at 2 or tomorrow at 10. What works best for you? You can go right at them, super hard close with that. But with a Facebook lead, you can't do that. So let's talk about some of the scripts around how people can talk to Facebook leads. So if they're not using Conversion Monster, what are some types of ways they can approach a Facebook lead and how they should approach it?
Yeah.
You want me to start?
Yeah, you can kick it out.
Okay.
If you're not using Conversion Monster, sure.
So this is typically how I do it. Like, hey, Ro, how you doing? This is Nick with Keller Williams, and I'm following up with you because you looked at some houses we had for sale on Facebook. I know you might not be looking to make a purchase just yet, but I'm just curious, is that area an area of interest for you?
Yeah.
And it's very nonchalant, very non-persuasive and non-pressurizing. I just think that like that approach is typically the best type of approach. That's how I approach it when I were to pick up a phone and just try to get someone on the phone from a Facebook ad.
Yeah, and that's a very similar approach that we use, right? That you clicked on one of our ads. We see that you might be interested in a particular property. We understand that you might just be starting your journey into the home buying or selling process, but what interested you in that ad, or what made you click on that ad, right? Just to get the conversation started, not even necessarily like, oh, do you want to buy a house, right? Like just to understand kind of where they are in that process. Once we kind of understand that, we're going to open with a much softer opening the way that you do. And then we're going to get into our qualifiers, right? We're going to get into those qualifying questions.
Yeah.
So, of course, we're going to ask, what is their timeline? Like, have they been pre-approved for a mortgage? What neighborhoods are they considering in the future? Are they working with an agent, right? And so we get through these qualifiers in a very conversational way. It's not like call center-ish, right? It's kind of weaved into the conversation as just two people talking, just two friends on the phone with each other, just trying to see if we can help.
Yeah.
And I think just to reiterate one of your points that you were driving home about like the top of the funnel, the way it had been described to me a long time ago through some of our friends is that when you go to Facebook, you're scrolling through your feed and you're disrupted, right? Like you said, you're not going there with the intent to look for homes. When you go to Google, you're typing in homes for sale in, you know, Delray Beach, or homes for sale in Chicago, homes for sale in Buffalo. When you go through your Facebook feed, you're looking at pictures of your friends and family. And so you're interrupted and you see something that catches your eye and you click on that ad and then it takes you to a landing page. So we always keep that in mind when we're reaching out, that we understand that that's a different process that a lead is going through than if they went and searched on Google for homes for sale in that particular neighborhood, or a Zillow or a realtor.com ad.
Yeah, you make a good point about, trying to have that conversation. So a lot of times when you call a Facebook lead, they're going to say, oh, I was just looking. Right. And so one of the reasons why I typically throw in, I know you might not be looking to purchase a house just yet, but I was just curious, is that an area of interest for you? It's because you're kind of getting in front of that objection before they give it to you. And so they can't really reply with, I mean, they could, but like replying with, oh, I'm not interested in making a move just yet. Yeah, I know. I literally just said that to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what you'll find is when you say, is that an area of interest to you? And they go, oh, yes or no. If they say yes, you say, great. Hey, I'm just curious, what made you decide to look at those houses that we had for sale? Was there anything, sorry, I have my cat over here just knocking everything over. No, Jack. No.
The beauty of remote
It was
work.
almost an avalanche of things falling off the shelves. So yeah, what I was saying was by asking them, what was it about those houses that made you click? Because here's the thing, psychologically, people don't click on things that they're just not interested in. They just don't, right? Whether it be an article, a photo of cute kittens, and houses. So what was it about that post that made you decide to click on it? Oh, I saw a really nice picture of a ranch style home. Oh, that's great information. What about the ranch style home did you love? Do you typically like the open floor plans of ranch style homes? Oh yeah, those are nice. Yeah. What do you like open floor plans for? Oh, we have children and they like to run around. So before you know it, they're basically inadvertently telling you what they want and don't want. Do you guys ever find that when you're talking to people?
Yeah. I think that's a really important point. And another way to say it is that I've always looked at it when you're first reaching out to an internet lead, they're like a clam, right? They're like a clam that's completely closed. And the instant reaction is that a salesperson is calling me, right? Let's just call it what it is, right? It's a salesperson calling me, and you sort of get this initial knee-jerk reaction of a wall that goes up. And our job then is to pry that clam open to grab that pearl that's inside, right? Like that's how I've always looked at it. And if you can get them talking, if you can just get them talking in those first couple of minutes without beating them over the head about like, oh, I saw you clicked on an ad and, do you want to buy a house? Right? It's very soft approach that you're talking about to engage in that conversation. Oh, I'm just looking, I'm just browsing. Oh, that's great. What is it that you're looking for? What is it that you were browsing for, right? To start to open that up, keep them on the phone and get them talking, because as you know, especially with internet leads, once you can get that open, you get them talking those first 30, 60 minute and a half, they will start to talk to you. And then it's kind of like, all right, well, I'm already on the phone, right? I hate to say it like that, but that's kind of the sentiment is like, well, all right, I'm on the phone. All of us have gone through that experience of being called by a salesperson. And sometimes we hang up and for whatever reason, sometimes they keep our attention and they engage with us. And if you can get past that, we've always found if we can get past that 60, 90-second mark, you can really then start to get into a conversation, and they sort of that wall comes down. They start to open up a little bit more. And that's when we start to get more deeper into our qualifiers.
There's a great comment in the chat on Zoom from Hobby Hobson. Another great name. We got OK Hogan and Hobby Hobson. I love those two. They should just
Have their own show.
form like a singing
Hogan
group.
and
or something.
Habby and Hogan.
Yeah, I love it. Selling should never happen within the first 3 minutes of a conversation, which I completely 100% agree with. So here's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you some ads that are working really, really well for me through Command. And I'm going to show you what the ad looks like and where the ad goes. And then I'll give you some results that we had from the ad. So I'm sharing my screen with you guys. And Ro, let me know when you can see that.
I can see it.
Okay, cool. So this is a cool ad that I like to think it's cool. I mean, it might not be cool, but I like it. It's a cool ad that I created advertising price reductions. Because listen, in this crazy market where homes are still selling really, really fast, it's very hard to find a deal. So this ad is advertising homes that have recently had a price reduction in a specific town. So if you guys are going to create some ads, I just want to let you know, pay attention to the ad copy here. So I have homes in Bloomfield. I always put like a title right in between two houses. Homes in Bloomfield or homes for sale. Catch the eye with uppercase title and then two emojis. Bloomfield is sought after town for home buyers, and we compiled a list of recent price drops. So what I said in the first sentence, this helps you guys pre-qualify your leads before they get to you. Bloomfield is sought after town for home buyers. I'm shouting home buyers from the rooftop. If you're not looking to buy a home, keep scrolling, right? So Bloomfield is sought after town for home buyers, and we compiled a list of recent price drops. Now you're offering a service. You're coming from a place of customer service. You're curating a search for them so they don't have to go and look for this stuff. You're compiling this list of recent price drops. Click learn more to find your new home at a great price. So I'm saying home buyers love this. We made this list for you. And if you click learn more, you can find your new house and you can get a deal on it. Okay. When they click and then the Facebook lead form pops up and populates their name and email and phone number, and then that goes into Command, where they're directed is to their KW site, and they're directed to a link that shows homes for sale that have recently been reduced in price. This has been reduced by 18,000, 11,000, 10,000, 10,000 and change, 9,000, 10,000, 31,000. So you can see that this is a search that has been created just for this ad. And the way that you do that is when you're on your KW website and you click this little more button up here where you're basically toggling the criteria, and you scroll down, you can then toggle price reduced 7 days ago. So there's 95 properties on the market in Bloomfield, but there's only a dozen of them. That just speaks to how crazy the market is. Only a dozen out of 95 properties have been reduced in the last week. And then this link right here, you can use this as an evergreen link and put this as the destination URL to where people go. So this is an ad that yesterday this brought in 23 leads, and 2 leads out of those 23 were qualified by Conversion Monster for a total of 800,000. So that was awesome. And here's an ad. Oh, by the way, Ro, so there's a recent study from U-Haul that they posted on their website the top 25 cities that their trucks went to most often in 2021, like the U-Haul company.
Yeah.
And the number one city that their trucks went to in 2021 was Kissimmee, Florida. So I created an ad advertising homes in Kissimmee. And this is what it looked like. I have a referral partner down there. His name is Ken Pozick. He's a great agent. And he doesn't really work internet leads. He's like, I'm like, Ken, I'm going to run this ad for you in Kissimmee and send you the leads. He goes, well, I'm not going to be able to follow up with them like you want me to because Ken's more organic. I go, that's okay. I'm going to send you only the qualified ones. He's like, cool. So I ran this ad for Kissimmee and it led them to homes for sale on my KW site in Kissimmee. And we got a $400,000 buyer from that ad. And I sent it to Ken. So this one was advertising. That was advertising homes for sale. Here's another one that I did advertising homes near a school system. So this is homes for sale near Clarkston, homes in the Clarkston, Michigan school district. And I did a cool animation there from Designs. So it pops out at you. And so this one is awesome because this is again, another curated example of an ad. So Clarkston is known for the great school district. If you're looking for a home in that area, we compile the list to make your search simple. Click learn more to get started. So if you're on your KW site and you want to look for the school district, I'm going to type in. So Clarkston Community Schools, you have to know the exact name of the school district. In this instance, it's Clarkston Community School District, Detroit, Michigan. And so here's the homes that are, here's the homes that are reduced. So that'd be a cool one. Homes recently reduced in the Clarkston Community School District, or any school district for that matter. Here's homes for sale in the Clarkston Community School District. That's another type of curation that you can create for an ad as well. And so all of these will be offering a value to the consumer and curating a search for them. And when you do that, it tends to bring a more interested buyer. Like Ro, when I run ads for single properties, Ro, I'm looking at there you go. When I run ads for single properties, like new listings, I get a lot of leads, but I typically get a lot of tire kickers. But when I run ads that advertise homes for sale in a particular neighborhood, we get fewer leads, but we also tend to have better conversation rates. You know what I mean? And that's where most of our qualified leads come from when we run ads that are similar to this one, homes for sale in a school district or homes for sale in a particular neighborhood. That's where we tend to find the best quality leads.
Yep. Makes a lot of sense that it's a lot more targeted.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions in the chat. So let's see if we can cover them. So just so you guys, somebody asked, is Conversion Monster only for leads? Well, no, that's a good question. Tell everyone what Conversion Monster is doing now.
So yeah, in terms of Command, now that we're integrated with Command on the solo agent side, at least, I noticed that there was another need in the industry, which was that even though they've made it pretty easy to run ads, either A, agents are still too busy to run those ads, or B, they might be technologically challenged, or C, it's really easy to run an ad and launch it. You just might not know what to say or do. And so we ended up partnering with Nick Baldwin to be able to handle that, because I had that from my own experience that we didn't have the bandwidth to run those ads, and it's better to leave it up to the experts. And so Nick partnered with us at Conversion Monster, and we have Clarissa, who's part of our marketing team, to help run and manage Facebook ad campaigns. And so we started this program that we launched not too long ago in that partnership with Nick.
Yeah. So if you guys, we're only onboarding several people a month. But if you guys are interested in having Conversion Monster and myself help you create your ads, I just dropped it right there in the chat. You can book a demo and they can tell you all about that for sure. So let's show some. Robert is wondering, are you available north of the border? Are you guys, I'm assuming that's Canada. Are you available in Canada?
We are available in Canada. Yes, we certainly are. And then Joanna also asked, when a lead is already working with a realtor, what do you tend to do? So I don't, Joanna, if that was a question for Nick or a question for us. We actually leave that up to the agent to make that decision. So meaning that if you, from my perspective, if you're a client of Conversion Monster, we tend to ask, well, have you signed anything, or do you have a good relationship with your agent? You know, are you open to working with another agent? And if they say yes, then we will continue on. If they say no, I'm already working with an agent, I'm happy, or I signed something, then we don't press on that issue. That's how we generally handle it. It is kind of case by case depending on the agent. Some want us to push and some don't.
So yeah, I mean, the thing is, if someone says they're working with an agent, you know, it's best, yeah, definitely to leave that up to the I think leave that up to the agent to decide.
Yep.
And then if they've signed an agreement, you know, obviously you want to kind of
Yep.
back off on that as much as you possibly can. That's kind of how I look at it.
Always, yeah. If they've signed an agreement, we back off right at that moment and end the call, right? Pretty much.
Yeah. So let's see. We covered what Conversion Monster does. We covered how to talk to Facebook leads. We covered what ads are working great, and where those ads can be directed to. Are there any questions from you guys in the chat? Let us know. I think I answered a lot of them. But yeah, definitely the whole idea is, guys, like, you can do this on your own with smart plans within Command, and you know, the smart plans work. You know, the thing about smart plans is there's really no there's no human factor to that. That's the issue, right? So you also have to be very quick to respond if somebody does respond from a smart plan text message. You got to be ready to go and reply to that as quickly as you possibly can. And so that can be difficult for a lot of people, and you have to know exactly what to say. Whereas with Conversion Monster, those ISAs already know what to say. Hey, you know, can you tell us a little bit how your ISAs are trained, Ro? Because that last thing I mentioned brings me to that question.
Yeah, sure. I'll jump in that in just 1 second. I know, there was a question from Greg. He had asked, is there a workaround to have a search on the KW site for ranch style homes so that I can?
Oh no, we can't look for. There we go. We can't look for homes by style yet, but I think they're going to get there.
And then it says there's a question from Marshall who said, much luck with listing leads using a CMA or other tactics.
Okay, so let me show you guys my strategy around how to generate seller leads. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. And everything that I do, all the ads that I create for myself and for other people, I do it through the KW website. Everybody has their own Keller Williams website, whether you've used it or not, you have it. And so it's connected to Command, and it's what I use because it has a great functionality. So this is what I do for seller leads. Now, CMA, what's your home worth? Those types of ads are really played out. Like the consumer is very up on what your angle is with that. You know what I mean? Would you agree, Ro? Like, click and see what your home value is worth. They don't need you to tell them that. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what I suggest. I'm going to do this here with the Clarkson Community School District. Let's say I'm going to create an ad around homes that are selling in that area. Okay. Now on our website, we don't have solds, but we do have pendings. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to unclick everything that I don't want, including active. Then I'm going to click pending. Okay. So there are 53 properties that are currently pending within that Clarkson Community School District. So what I'm going to do is the ad I'm going to run is going to advertise homes in the Clarkson Community School District that have recently received offers. I'm not going to say they've recently gone under contract. I'm not going to say they've recently gone pending because a lot of times the consumer doesn't even know what that means. I'm going to say, if you live within the Clarkson Community School District or in the Clarkson, Michigan, if you're a homeowner and you're curious what homes have received offers in your area, click for a list or click for a list of homes that have recently received offers in your town. So something along those lines. And so when they click through, they're going to be sent to this list that you created on your website, this link right here. You're going to use that as the link that you're going to direct them to. All of these homes are pending. They've all recently received offers, all of them. Okay. So when they click and you make that phone call, let's say you don't use Conversion Monster. This is the phone call. Hey, Ro, how you doing? This is Nick with Keller Williams. I had some homes on Facebook that recently received offers, and I was giving you a ring to ask, are you a homeowner in that area? Yeah, I do. I own a home in that area. Okay, great. Any of those homes that have received offers near your property, or any of them look like they could be similar to your property? Now, in a perfect world, this was the conversation. Okay, in a perfect world. Yeah, actually, 7190 Dark Lake Drive in Independence Township, that actually is right around the corner from my house and looks similar to my house. Again, in a perfect world, looks similar to my house. Do you know what that house sold for? Actually, Mr. Rowe, I don't know what that house sold for, as it just received an offer. But according to the MLS, it closes in about 3 weeks. Would you like me to follow back up with you in several weeks when I do have the final price on that property? Oh, yeah, that would be great. Thank you. Okay, yeah, no problem. I'll do that. In the meantime, I can send you a complimentary market analysis on your property. I just had a few questions for you, if that's okay. So that's the idea behind that. Advertising homes that have recently received offers and then getting them on the hook. So you're the one that tells them when the house closed and how much it's closed for, and then getting them started with that CMA while they're waiting. That's the idea around that. So if you like that idea, drop a comment letting us know that you like that idea. So maybe they'll do that. Maybe they liked it, Ro.
I like that idea.
Yes, they liked it. Yes, love it. Awesome. I like that idea.
Some validation.
I need the validation. That is my love language. Words of affirmation.
Yes.
Love this, Nick. Just did this, created this for my site. Ro, my love language is words of affirmation. I don't get told enough at home that I'm loved.
Validated. I love you, Nick. There, added to the list.
Thank you so much. My other love language is personal touch, but Ro, don't worry, you don't have to do that.
I'll just give you one of these through the Zoom.
Awesome.
High-five.
So, Ro, do you have any final questions, comments that you want to leave us with?
Yeah, I hope you guys found a lot of value in this webinar. Especially with Nick, he's always coming.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about how the ISAs were trained. Someone just messaged, how are the ISAs trained?
Oh, okay. Great question. So listen, I'm incredibly passionate about this business, right? Like this was a business that was started by me as a solution for my own business because I had this need, and I'm still in it today. I have teams. We're still working internet leads. We're converting them. We're out on the streets. We're pounding the pavement. We're dealing with these same situations on a day-to-day basis. And so every day we're learning and we're making, as our teams are integrated and they're working with real buyers and sellers every day, I take that information and I put it into our training process. But our overall training process is when they come in, we've hired a coach called Brian Eisenhower Coaching and Consultants. He coaches many of the top agents all over the country. He designed our initial training program for ISAs. And so we've woven that through the fabric of it, but it's basically a 30-day training program. It's partially with these workbooks and these trainings with ICC. And then we have 3 full-time trainers on staff. And so these guys go through 30 days of training before they are assigned to teams. So they get plenty of time, plenty of experience. before they're put on the phones. A lot of it is done through a role play, listening to successful conversion calls is really important. And our team spends a tremendous amount of time with them. And then after the training is over, they go to their teams, and we have team leaders that continue on with, auditing, listening to the calls, providing coaching and feedback. And then we have, additional training after they're on the phones for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, like that. So great question. But yeah, we try to make that a pretty extensive program before they're just calling your leads. And so that's why we were super excited to partner with Nick on this Command, marketing program, because as everybody knows, he's the guru of Command, and he's amazing at creating these ads. And I, like a lot of you, am not. I mean, that's his skill set. He's really good at that. And so I would rather leave it up to the expert to handle that. And so we've got him, and we've got our marketing person, Clarissa, that is helping. And we're trying to grow this, in terms of helping busy agents that, again, either don't have the time for this, don't want to do it, or just have no idea where to begin, with the creative aspect of the copy and the photos and things like that. And so we're super pumped about the program. And, we want you guys to have great results. And so that's why we partnered with Nick on this Command program.
Awesome. Ro, it looks like there might be some, nope. Yeah. There's one comment. Are the ISAs US based? Yes, they are all based in the United States.
Yep.
So that's a huge value proposition. And I also want to show everyone where you can find your KW website. If you're not familiar with where you can find it, if you go to Command, let's say you're on the home page of Command right here, and I'm going to go to Consumer, which is right here at the bottom on the left-hand side where the applets are. I'm going to go to Consumer. And then from there, I am going to find my KW site right at the top in blue. And when you click it, it just takes you right to your website. If you haven't set anything up, it's just going to be very basic. There's not going to be much, in the way of customization. There might be some logos on there, but for the most part, you have to set that up. And the way you set that up is you kind of go through the Kelly guide configuring your website. So I'm not going to go through that with you guys today, but that's how you find your KW site, just in case anyone was curious. Well, Ro, thank you so much. Appreciate you being on here and taking the time. I hope everyone got some information on Conversion Monster, and also learned a little bit about Facebook lead generation and how to create some ads that, can help convert better for you and be more appealing to the consumer. You can find me in the Command Your Conversion group. You can find Ro at, I posted
-monster.com.
Conversion Monster. And I'll thanks, guys.
Down there too.
What's that, Ro?
I'll put my email on there too, if anybody has further questions they want to reach out.
Well, conversion-monster.com. If you're interested in signing up for Conversion Monster, let me show you how to do that through Command. Okay, that would be a good idea as well.
I mistyped Monster. You think I would slow down?
Yeah.
Do that again.
If you guys are interested in signing up for Conversion Monster through the Command integration, here's how you do it. Go into Command and then go up to the marketplace on the upper right-hand side. Click that. And it'll take you into the Command marketplace.
And while you're doing that, Nick, I'll just mention that the both of us will be at Family Reunion. If anybody on this is planning on going, and we're going to have a booth and we'll both be speaking. So it'd be great to meet you guys in person.
For sure. So there's two ways you can find it. When you log in, it's right here. So when you click it, it'll take you to the Conversion Monster page in the marketplace, and then you're going to click sign up. Or if you don't see this image in the middle there, just type in Conversion Monster and you'll see it right here, and then you can view details. So that's how you do it. Sweet. Thanks, everybody. Have an amazing day.
Thanks, guys. Have a great one. Appreciate it.